All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Livewire Sports Media. This is your Wednesday edition, midday Wednesday. So, I had a chance last night after going live on the game last night. I went back and just did some, some thorough looking more into the game, and I mean, to be honest, Indiana Fever was pretty much out of sync last night. It was out of sync really bad. They didn't really start coming together until, around the fourth quarter. I mean, they was down big, they battled back, and they had the game in reach. Um, there's always going to be issues every game with the referees. We've seen that. But the one issue I have is that you can't spend time as players arguing with the referees. And this goes to Caitlin. She does it a lot. She got if she doesn't get the call, play on to the next play, play defense, get the ball back, score, whatever you need to do. The more you argue with the referees, the more they're gonna ignore you because they feel like you're complaining. We already know that referees are against the Indiana Fever, against Caitlin Clark. They're not gonna give them calls. Stephanie White used two challenges last night just because they get the play wrong. And Aaliyah Boston was arguing with the referees. And, Stephanie White had to step in. She had to tell Aaliyah, hey, I got it. I got it. If you don't know what the play I'm talking about, let me show you.
Boston continues to show her frustration. It really started a couple.
It's bad when the referee acknowledged Stephanie White and say, hey, I messed up. But they have to, I mean, there was times Caitlin went to the rim, got hit, even on three. I don't understand it at all because if you had your if you're a shooter from 3 point line and you don't have a landing spot and the person glides into you to close out, that's an automatically foul. And they don't even give they don't even give that. They just look and keep going. And this team is going to have an uphill battle all year with the referees. Make no mistake about it. We're gonna be here complaining. We're gonna be here, going off on it. But I'm just cautioning y'all right now. Going into the season, it's only two games. It wasn't as bad the first game, but it was blatantly bad last night. It was blatantly bad. And for the Fever to have a home game and they blatantly that bad, it's like they don't want this team to succeed. But these players, they got to overcome that because we cannot leave it up to the referees to make the call to put us in a position where we either have to win the game or lose the game. And that's why I say, even though this game was significant bad, but from the referee standpoint, and the Fever did have a chance to win the game, they got to play. They have to play. Aaliyah, you can't be arguing with the referees. If it's a bad call, make your case and move on. Caitlin, every time you shoot the ball or you drive and you don't get a call, you turn into the referees, you're yelling at the referees. You got to play. You the general, you the floor general of this team. You have to stay locked in at all time. If you don't like something, just voice your opinion and keep it moving. But if you spend time shooting the ball and you miss the shot and you looking for a call and the other team gets in and go down, you taking yourself out of position to get back in transition D to help your teammates out. You gotta play on. If they don't give it to you, keep playing. Just give them a look or say, hey, what's up? If they don't acknowledge it, they don't acknowledge it. But as a FIBA organization and Stephanie White, they need to put pressure on the referees in the league and say, hey, this is being blatantly done. They need to either file a complaint after every game. I don't care if they win the game. File a complaint every game and say, look, this is what's going on. Look at these calls. We're not getting these calls. And on top of that, when you do get the calls, you got to make the free throws. You got to make the free throw shots. Natasha Howard missed 8 total free throws from last game to this game. You got to make them free throws. Now, I don't agree with people coming after her, where her wife has to come online and defend her. I don't agree with that. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this as calmly as pretty nice as I can do. We as fans need to support this team. Whether we don't like certain players on this team, but they are part of this team. We need to support them. If they play is bad and they're not playing up, then that's a whole different thing. You know, we didn't even have Sophie Cunningham last night, which she could have provided something. I did a breakdown post game last night where I felt like you could have used Michaela Timpson, but she didn't get a chance to play because maybe Stephanie White's game plan was totally different. Yeah, Bree Turner got a lot of playing time last night, a significant playing time. But if you look at her play on the court, yeah, she missed some easy baskets, but she wasn't the only one missing baskets. And this is the thing that I know a lot of people don't like her for reasons unknown, but at the same time, just constantly pointing out, oh, well, she missed all these easy baskets. Well, you guess what? Natasha Howard missed baskets. Caitlin Clark missed baskets. Leo Boston had missed baskets. Kelsey Mitchell missed baskets. Everybody missed baskets last night. Just singling out and pointing out one person is wrong. You know, they are part of this team, whether we want to like it or not. They're part of this team, and we need to support this team all the way through. We we becoming just like the outside noise is, and we don't want to do that. We want to make sure this team sticks together for good, through the good and the bad. And that's why I feel like we get so much lost out for the with the outside noise instead of focus completely on this team and the basketball aspect of it. And that's where it needs to be at. So now Stephanie White did took to the podium after the game, and she talked about the last shot of the game. Now I show you the last shot of the game, so I'm gonna show it to you again so y'all can understand that there was two options. There was a Leo Boston, which that option got taken away. So Caitlin threw it to Natasha Howard. Now Natasha Howard had two looks at it. She had the inside layup, and then she got the rebound, and then she took a shot. But why was not Caitlin Clark the option? Why you couldn't use Lexi Hall to pass the ball in? Why you couldn't use a Leo Boston to put the ball in? Why you couldn't put DeWanda Bonner in if she was already in the game to spread the floor out as for three pointer or Kelsey Mitch? However you want to do it, there was two better options than Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard. So take a look. So there was Lexi, Kelsey, Caitlin, Leah, and Natasha Howard on the floor. That in that instance, I would have put DeWanna Bonner in there. She's taller. You could have used her as the inbounder because of her height. You know why? Because then you could have ran drag screens to either free up Kelsey or Caitlin for the last shot. That simple. Leah could have rolled in to the middle. She could have rolled into the middle to clog out the paint, to block out where Kelsey could have hit a mid range or Caitlin could have drive and hit a mid range. There was options there. But Stephanie White said she wanted to give um she wanted to she wanted to give she wanted to give Natasha Howard a shot at it, a crack at it. Well, I get all of that, but when it comes down to um when it comes down to winning the game, you got to go with your best player. And your best player was hot. 27 points, 11 assists. Again, Caitlin Clark can have 15 assists a game if people make baskets. So let me let you listen to what Stephanie White had to say.
Last possessions. What did you like about the play with Natasha and just her look?
Yeah, I mean, initially we're trying to get the ball to AB, but she was being chucked, so she couldn't get there. She had a good read. I mean, Tosh was open. We probably should have called timeout in that situation, but I felt like Tosh was due, right? She had a good look. She had two good looks, and that's really all you can ask for in that situation.
Exactly. So, and then the bad thing about it, Stephanie White is catching backlash for that play. She's catching backlash for that play because the fact of the matter is people comparing it to Christy Size, which that is really an unfair assessment. Coaches gonna make mistakes in games, granted or not. We done seen it from every professional level there is. But to compare Stephanie White to Christy Size, that's disrespectful. And I just don't think true sports fans understand the magnitude of certain aspects in the game. And just go, you want to compare a coach. We only 2 games into the season, guys. 2 games into the season. We were hearing this crazy stuff in preseason, and it was only preseason. We only 2 games in it. It's not 10 games into the season. It's not 20 games into the season. 2 games. We just had an injury. Would I like to see the Demiris Johnson play more? Yeah, I would have liked to see her play more. Would I like to see them put a bigger body on the Ryan Howard in the last second? Yeah, because I think having Kelsey Mitchell on her cost us the game. That part right there really kind of cost us the game. We had the lead. All we had to do is put a bigger body. Even if you had gave Lexi the assignment, even if you had gave DeWanna Bonner the assignment, I think DeWanna Bonner would have played. Even if you had brought Michaela Tipson in for that point, whoever, you could have used a bigger body on Ryan Howard, a lengthier person on Ryan Howard. That would have made Ryan Howard give up the ball. Then you could have ran an extra body to trap and forced them to make a bad shot, and the clock would have wind down, and we would have won the game. So the last second of the game wasn't even significant if you had put the right personnel in on Ryan Howard to when she win the game. Now listen to Kelsey Mitchell and what she had to say about the overall game.
Aspects of the game you felt like the discipline was missing, and like from us, it looked like rim defense in the first half, for example. But what to you did you see?
Awareness, knowing personnel. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but when it comes to the schemes defensively and knowing what certain players need to be defended, this is what we got to do. Whether it's Leash Gray pushing right, Brian Howard pushing left, just certain stuff that we have to hone in on to be successful, especially when you have 6'8" in the paint. There's only so much that can happen at that junction of the game.
So they did miss a lot of defensive assignments. They didn't switch, they didn't move, they didn't cut, they didn't do everything. I mean, Alicia Gray was out there hitting threes. Ryan Howard was out there starting in the second half, starting hitting threes. When you already had it a 4-point halftime lead, down by 4, you made it. They come out, they hit the three and jumped it up to 7. You couldn't do nothing with Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones. But at the same time, you could have took advantage and put them in bad situations. Yeah, Brittany Griner eventually fouled out, but AB played a heck of a game because she put pressure on them. She was putting pressure on them. And that's why I say you should have had Dantas more into the game a little bit more because she could have been that other matchup to bring a bigger body out. You could have used a lot of backdoor cuts behind. The one thing about it is when you have a big people like Brianna and Brittany Griner, you got to take advantage of their size because they slow footed. So if you have AB and say you had AB and say you had um Dantas on the floor. Dantas and AB could set screens. What they could do is pull their people out, and you could run back door and get an easy bucket to the lay-in. That would even help. Because what they was doing, they was trying to take away Caitlin's vision to execute passes, and that's why they used them to in the starting lineup. But eventually, as the game went on, Caitlin started figuring it out a little bit more. But unfortunately, when we got fouled, we missed foul shots. So when we got an easy chance to get an easy bucket, we missed it. So there's a lot of things to clean up. And mind you, this is only 2 games into the season. People is like losing their minds right now. And it's ridiculous. It's only 2 games into the season. Let's continue to allow this team to grow and make mistakes and have great games along the way. It's going to be games that they're not going to win. We not going to win every game, guys. This team is brand new all across the board. All the pieces is brand new except for 4. So allow them to gel together. We have a brand new coach, a brand new coaching staff, everything. And we sitting here think that we supposed to win every game. We supposed to, you know, do things a wholly totally different way. So I'm grateful that, to me personally, I'm glad we lost this game. You know why? Now this team could get they focus in. After a successful first game and all the noise that was going with it, they come back, they fall short by 1. Now they can regroup and say, okay, we're not gonna lose Thursday night against the same team. We know what we need to do better. This team's gonna come out a little bit more hungry, a little bit more fiery. I do believe Sophie Cunningham will play Thursday. I do believe she'll get the starting lineup over Natasha Howard. I think she will because we need that energy from her. You know, I don't think we should put Lexi in the starting lineup, but I think she could come in at some point in time. Even when you have her and Lexi on the floor at the same time, it gives a whole different vibe because you make Alicia Gray, you make Ryan Howard play differently. And that's what we didn't do. We didn't put them in uncomfortable positions to play differently. We allowed them to dictate the game and put us in bad situations. And you can't do that. I mean, we had the advantage on teams. We can't allow teams to get advantage because, like I said before, and I said it last night, every game is not going to be a cakewalk for the Fever because everybody wants to beat this team. Everybody wants to beat this team. This team ain't won nothing. We ain't won no championship, but everybody wants to beat us. So it's like, to me, every game they play against teams is like they championship game. It's like a game 7 to them. Just like everybody wanted to beat Kansas City or Chiefs in the regular season. It's their Super Bowl. Same thing right here. But this team has to start getting confident. They have to start focusing. They can't rely on the referees. They can't be sitting here whining and complaining. They got to play ball because if they're trying to win a championship, I don't care if it's 1 game, 2 games, 6 games, 20 games. Their mentality got to be the same. They got to block out all that outside noise, and they got to handle their business on the court. That means from the front office to the coaching staff to the players. They got to go ahead and be locked in. Let that outside noise play for itself. You just go out there and play ball. Because the more you win games, you stack wins and you playing games, playing games and you stacking wins, guess what? None of that stuff ain't gonna matter at the end of the day. But when you allow that outside noise to affect you in ways that you shouldn't have, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have some poor performances in these games. And I'm just being real about it. So let me know what your thoughts on the overall game, what Stephanie White, what um Kelsey Mitchell had to say. But we got a tough game. We gotta play this team again tomorrow night. So we don't have time to be soaking and complaining about anything, about no player on the team. They all play bad. Yeah, Kelsey Doom had great numbers, but at the same time, they had a slow start. We can't have that. And we can't be every time something go wrong, we'll have to revert back to Chrissy Size or the Fever team last year. This team is totally different. We have a way better coach. And just to put her in the category of Chrissy Size, that's disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Hit Hit the notification bell anytime you have a hardcore video. For me, Livewire Sports Media, this is your midday action. And guess what? You know what it is. And if you don't know, now you know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.